Uranium friends, you look as I look. 4 hour charts are the charts to be looking at right now. So, if I want to be someone who is looking for the reversal, the 4 hour charts are where it's going to be. So, what do I mean by that? Let's just take an example, right? So, U.UN, ready? Bottomed out here. What is this number? 2332, right? So this is your 4 hour move. It tops out and it's a level. It's a key level, right? So we see all of this topping action here. Um, and it's rejected multiple times, obviously, right? So this becomes important level. Rejected again, but the good thing is that it's made its 4 hour higher low and has set it. There's starting to be some subtle, very subtle little signs, and there's nothing we can do about this anyway because we have FOMC and we have the war drums beating. Anybody who's shooting at these things right now on the long side, you've got some levels to work off of, right? So I'm just looking at these 4 hours on some key names for us at the moment for this quick video. All right, so this 4 hour higher low is set at 24.41, and it's set because this last candle of the day here, well, it took out that high. So now it's set. So super aggressive bulls are working off this 24, what is it again? 24.41, and it's coinciding with this level that's probably marked for a long time on this chart, right? So it's going to go all the way back this 24.41 area all the way back to this level. So you're going to see a lot of chop and whatnot over here. So it was acting as resistance for a while. So it's danced around there. These are key levels that for the lifetime of this name, that's really why they're there. So yeah, and interestingly enough, this is a 50% retracement bounce off of this run. So I mean, this is it's interesting, but the long-term chart still says because it's closing below the 12 EMA. The month is going to end shortly, maybe in the next day or two. So you'll see what happens there. But just confirming a weekly downtrend, continuing on, right? High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low again. All right, but we're starting to see buying pressure here. Interestingly enough, right? These are the little subtle signs that you start to look at. So if you really want to catch a reversal or see if there's a reversal, a lot of the names are going to be doing it on these 4 hour charts. Deeper would go into the hourly chart, but there's a lot of fake outs there, right? So, but there's still nothing happening here. If you look at this hourly, yeah, it's probably a bull pennant. That's what they would call that at this point. Um, let's just see what this retracement size was on this little move here. So the retracement is, yeah, I mean, it's a 50% retracement of this move, and it's bounced off of it. So you have a couple of little metrics there that are helping with U.UN. It is also closing, and it just did close above the 12 EMA and the 5 EMA, which is curling up. So your first short-term signs is the 5 EMA, and they produce a lot of fake outs. So it's not the greatest metric. So we're looking at levels. Here's your big resistance up here on this volume profile. Here's the other resistance where it keeps getting tapped off of. And these are known as supply zones right now, right? So this is where they run into supply. This looks like it's starting. Yeah, it's still running into supply zones here on these volume profiles here on the 4 hour. The levels are consistent, right? So this acted as support, resistance, right? So you need to. We know that this this level has become very important, right? The 2550 area has become very important for this particular chart on this particular time frame, and I would say it probably is the same on the daily, right? So it's the 38% retracement. It's acting as resistance. The 12 EMA on the daily is still acting as resistance. There are some subtle signs that there's a chance that there's a little bit of a reversal potential. It needs to get over this level, obviously, right? So U.UN has to get over this level and hold 24.41, 24.36, whatever. That this little area, it's got to hold. If it doesn't, um, back to the drawing board. Okay, that's just the deal. CCJ is a tough one because they've got earnings, and there is just nothing going on here except downward pressure. Now I posted over in a private room that I'm involved in, and normally I would probably be stabbing at CCJ into the earnings when because normally I'll go after a name um, when it draws down like this into an earnings report. So now, if you want to look at this 4-hour falling wedge, well, it's broken through right at the apex, right? So this is a good falling wedge. Could probably take, let me just see if we can get some better touches. I'm just wondering, yeah, so let's just use this as an example. But either way, it's broken through. It's 4-hour falling wedge. So this is really considered a falling wedge bull break with no follow through on the 4-hour. So there is a good sign. Again, the metric, 12 EMA on the 4-hour, it's just been riding it down. All right, so you need to see that change. Getting a little curl up on the 5 EMA, got it here too. Never got above. Could be a spot where you could say, all right, is this a fake out or not? Does this yellow line, it's got to cross, right? That's going to be your first early, and that's an early sign. So listen, if you get a 4-hour trend change, um, which is possible here, it's kind of a very similar look to U.UN, right? A lot of resistance points up here. The 4-hour higher low is set by a couple pennies, probably. What's that? 65. What's this? 57. So yeah, it's 8 cents 4-hour higher low with the 4-hour falling wedge bull break. So it's you can't. It's really hard to do anything into an FOMC. Now everybody believes that these guys are going to be dovish. They're going to be talking about rate cuts. Small caps, everything is going to go. I think there's going to be quite the bounce um, if that's the case. We'll see. Who knows with Powell? And then we got war drums that are pounding all over the world. So it's really just if things were normal, I'd be buying. I'd be a buyer. But things aren't very normal right now, so I'm kind of sitting on my hands. I have a good amount of cash. Um, I know I can't catch bottoms, but I also know that I'm pretty damn close if this is the spot, right? So, not much in the divergence area. I just want to see what the daily, yeah. I mean, it hasn't gotten to oversold, but it's getting there. Not that it means much, but CCJ notoriously bounces, gets front run on the pure oversold. History says it can go deeper, right? But no big deal. But it is a 4-hour falling wedge bull break. 12 EMA, the guide for full bear control. So regardless of this little bull break, there is still full bear control on CCJ going into their earnings with Kazatomprom earnings and FOMC. What does anybody who is reasonable about trying to preserve capital, they don't touch this stuff until there's clarity. And even if there's clarity, and even if this thing goes up $1 or two, um, we're not missing a move. I'm not missing a move. I don't care. That's the deal. Dennison still just rejecting on the 4-hour. I think I saw something on the daily that I wanted to see. All right. So key levels here. A lot of chop, a lot of levels here to be dealing with. $1.73, that's probably going to be a weekly support. And the way it looks, it's probably going to be a monthly support, right? Let's see. Yeah. So, and it's a monthly 12 EMA. It's sitting right on top of it. It bounced a little bit and it's holding it. Your 50% retracement gets you to the $1.70 area, which gets you to that zone where there's plenty of volume here to hold, you know. But if you look at these volume, this profile, yeah, it's gotten through. It makes sense a little bit, and it's starting to run into support at a 50% retracement. The monthly level is coming up. So, you know, these things, there's starting to be some small, small, subtle signs that there's a bottoming process. It's not enough. You have a 4-hour RSI divergence. I don't play divergences that much. The daily still can go deeper, but Dennison likes to get picked up around here, RSI, right? Of course, you get these undercuts, but you know the 37 RSI area seems to be a spot where Dennison bounces. But I'm not calling for bounces at all. I'm looking at 4-hour charts. 4-hour charts are the spot. Encore, you know, I've posted about it many times. This thing is just keeps holding this level like a champ. Um, if it breaks, you know, how deep does the? I've said it could make it down to 3. You know, if this level breaks, 3 could be in the cards. You know, might start picking up support around 330. Or $3 could be in the cards. 4-hour chart, nothing doing, right? So CCJ working on a trend change, right? 4-hour falling wedge bull break. Let's just double check that because I'm moving fast and I haven't even looked at any of this stuff. Yeah, so 4-hour falling wedge bull break, full bear control with the 12 EMA. Encore is just sideways chopperama, just holding the level. It's precarious with Encore. I will be quite honest with you. So I'm doing nothing with Encore. I have my cost basis is well below. It's in 260 area. My cost basis on Encore is down here. So I'm okay with it right now. I'll be nervous or I'll have to be rethinking everything at the 3 range. Next gen, has it been showing any relative strength? Not really. It's doing what the rest of the sector is doing, but I would say it hasn't drawn down as much, interestingly enough. But there was some call buying in the past week or so. Could be a reason why the dealers might be hedging a little bit. Who knows? But still, same deal, right? 4-hour. Let's see what the 4-hour looks like. Yeah, 4-hour higher low is set. Looks a lot like CCJ's chart on the 4-hour right now. And we're getting this 12 EMA dance, trying to overtake it. So these are first little clues. The 4-hour 12 EMA has been the resistance for a long time, right? Long time. 4-hour 12 EMA. Couple little bounces, but never just these are all fake outs. Can't get through. All right. So it's really essentially resistance, resistance, resistance. So you're starting to get the look like you've had here. So it's got to get the follow through. There is no follow through, but there are subtle little signs because it's at least putting in a higher low. Right. So the difference here, well, it did it here. There was a higher low. Okay. But look, these wicks out and it doesn't do anything. Right. So never confirms these trend changes. Right. Never confirms them. Keeps going back down, testing levels, gets a nice little pop here, but everybody had the pop there, and then it's just a big fade. So you have to be cognizant of that, but we have to be aware that there is some slight signs, and this is how bottoms are caught. Never catch the absolute bottom. If you do, it's pure luck. So you wait for these hourly trend changes, and if you're a little bit more aggressive, you wait for if you're less aggressive, you wait for the 4-hour trend changes. If you're even less aggressive, these are all still very aggressive plays, by the way. The 12-hour trend changes, and then you look for the dailies, right? So, but there's no true signs yet of anything. All right. So everything, as I've posted last week, and I've said multiple times, all bounces are to be considered spots to either sell into or short. That's how bears are looking at this sector right now. Put your bear glasses on because that's exactly what it is until that changes. When you get these trend changes start to rack up and see some follow through, well, then then we can say, okay, things have changed. SMR, everybody knows I'm short. Been posting it for a long time. I was short up here. Those $15 strike puts are doing very, very well. I took a long attempt somewhere in here. I got stopped out rightly, quickly, and that's it. Still 4 hour, full 4 hour bear control. Nothing says anything about that changing yet. Okay. SMR still does not look good at all. UEC, all right, right? So there's your low, there's your high, here's your double bottom, higher low, 4 hour, and it's set, right? Because it took out that. And it's fighting these 12 EMAs, right? 4 hour full bull control, full bear control, 12 EMA on the 4 hour. Nothing changes until that changes. Now, if UEC takes out this 580 level, it's a better sign, right? So that means you've gotten a trend change, and now you start to look for follow through, and you're pretty damn close to catching a bottom, right? You're 40 cents off this bottom, and you have this level here. So it's holding this level. It starts to become low risk. Okay, 540 is now, in my opinion, a low risk long bull entry to work against. And if it doesn't hold 540, it's problematic. There's some structure here that down to 5, but 540, low risk bull entry. I guess someone, if they want to be a little bit looser, they can start looking at the $5 area as a stop point. But that's gonna, if it comes down to $5, it's getting hunted. But it's gonna go below 5 and hunt everybody stops. It's a psychological level. It's just how it works. It's how equities work. So again, eyes on the 4 hour. That's going to be the spot. I'm not even looking at the ETFs right now. 4 hour on URG. We know they did the financing. Whatever they say they're going to buy something. Full bear control. 12 EMA on the 4 hour. Nothing has changed until it changes, right? So it's trying to set a level at $1.14. This is a 23% extension, right? And it kind of did, well, it went to the 38. So this is pretty close to the 38 extension, too. So, these drops, even though this fib is probably not the best run. So, yeah. So, but full 4 hour bear control because the 12 EMA is not allowing price to get and stay above. It's just that simple. The bears are still in full control. The 4U's energies, fuels. Now we talk about the boxes. You guys can go back and look failed inverse head and shoulders. And it happens. And by the way, head and shoulders patterns usually have like a 75 to 80% success rate. So a failure is fairly rare, believe it or not, but it's a failed inverse head and shoulders. Got a level to work off of here, 519, 520 area, 4 hour full bull bear control, right? 12 hour, 12 EMA on the 4 hour. So you start to look at these 4 hour charts on the majors, the big board names, and you can see that the bears have full control. The signs, and it makes all the sense to me, are CCJ and U.UN, right? And if most uranium players with half of a brain that want to get some torque and make some money, it's the spots, right? CCJ is the bellwether for the traders in the space. Anybody who does not care about the nuclear renaissance, global atomic, and all these crappy penny stocks, anyone who doesn't care but understands that uranium and nuclear is a theme, they're buying CCJ. They're buying Denison. They're buying NextGen. They're buying UEC. Those are the names that will be the ones that give us the first signs. And CCJ, of those names, is the one that's really showing it first, right? Liquid option chain, plenty of liquidity, institutional money can go here. 4 hour falling wedge bull break. Still fighting this 12 EMA. So, and we got FOMC. So this is going to be a determiner. Not horrible, not great. 4-hour charts are the place to be right now for those who are trying to pick bottoms. And I'm not saying it's time to hit these things. I'm saying this is the spot to be looking. This is the time frame to be looking. And if you really want to truly be looking, you're looking at CCJ and you're looking at U.UN. Those are the two spots to be looking, in my opinion. Over and out.